You seem uncomfortable. Do it make you nervous, Corky?
No.
Thirsty, maybe.
Curious, maybe.
That's funny. I'm feeling a little bit curious myself.
The Tarot deck is a picture book of life, an answer to the deepest questions of philosophy and history, and sometimes a means of prediction. There is within each of us a twin destiny, the natural and the supernatural. The cards are attracted to the supernatural part of that destiny, as one pole of a magnet attracts the opposite pole. The strange, the weird, the unknown, the terrifying, the mysterious. At one point in our lives, any one of us can encounter. This deck can forewarn us. I call it my house of horrors.
Welcome to Pleasers
and Punishers,
where we talk about movies that people love to watch.
Movies that ruin your today, tomorrow, and yesterday.
And all things kinky and queer.
I'm Caitlin of the North.
I'm May. That's my mother-in-law, Schultz.
And I'm your confidence trickster, Amanda Jane Stern.
And today we're discussing And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts, and I look, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. Welcome to Anthology August, everyone! We begin our journey with Dr. Terror's House of Horrors.
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 The horror.
The horror. The horror.
The horror?
I know. It was like Doctor, Uncle, Basement, 10, Terrors. It's a mouthful, and I'm not doing the German either because I don't speak German.
Oh my god! And it's also a British movie.
Yes,
it's a British movie with a German title.
I was just like, "What does that mean?" Asking Brian. He's like, "I never learned House of Horrors in my German class."
Wait,
Funny
the
story.
version on Tubi has German credits?
No, just the German
the title card.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then everything else is in English.
The 4K from Vinegar Syndrome does not have that, so that's interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was like Die Schrecken der.
Like something
Yep.
house, like Garten. Yep. Apparently kindergarten is basically like child
Yes.
house.
Yeah,
So-
we were giggling quite a bit when we saw that. We were like, oh, hey. And then I saw it was a British production company. So I was just like, what?
It must just be the
started by
version
two-
that's on Tubi.
Yeah.
2 people from the United States. So we'll get into that. But before we get into that, this movie was directed by Freddie Francis, who is also the cinematographer on 3 David Lynch movies. Funny story.
Freddie Francis fucking rules. If you
Yes.
haven't watched any of his
I-
stuff, he is amazing.
Wonder if your Vinegar Syndrome 4K. Oh, you said 4K. You definitely were watching a significantly more remastered version than Caitlin and I. Because Caitlin, I don't know if you had moments where, because Julian and I were watching it, and we were both like, this deserves a remastering.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, no, I got 30 seconds into
Okay.
it on Tubi, which was just the credits, and I went, I'm going to wait until Maeve wakes up so she can grab her disc for me because
Yeah.
I can't do
Yeah.
this.
Because we were like, look, is this a perfect movie? No, but this is a very enjoyable, fun movie to watch that I would watch again. I would love to see this in better quality.
Yes. The 2B version definitely could use a little zhuzhing.
And look, sometimes Tubi does have the remastered version. Like, they have a more remastered version of Lady Frankenstein than I've seen elsewhere, but they did not have a more remastered version of this.
Which, again, is unfortunate because what we can tell very easily, though, is how well this was written by by Milton Subotsky. You know what's funny? I said it correctly, like, this is one of those things, like, I said it correctly when I was going through these names, and I was like, I mean, they're not that hard to say, but I was like, oh, it would be like Saptowski, sorry. And then I just blew it. And not in the good way like you want. So, we have Peter Cushing. This cast was insane. So, starring Peter Cushing, Neil McCallum, right?
Meal?
Yes, definitely.
I wrote down Meal, which is
Definitely Neil
not
and
correct.
not Meal.
Oh my god, I am
Maybe it's
so tired.
Mail.
My eel. I was like, I think I did that wrong.
Do you want to start again
crushing
from
this.
written by?
Crushing this. Sabatsky? All right. So this was written by Milton Subotsky, starring Peter Cushing, Neil McCallum, Alan Freeman, Roy Castle, Christopher Lee, and Donald Sutherland in like his third or fourth
30
appearance.
years old in this movie.
Little bit.
And I've never been less attracted to him.
What?
So
I like him older.
Well, yeah, what a fucking surprise. I like him both ways. I've heard it both ways.
Always.
No, I get him to the end of his 30s when he's in Don't Look Now, and that's when I've got my like. You know what? Maybe it's also the longer hair. Like 70s Donald Sutherland. That is peak sexy Donald Sutherland to me.
Like,
And I mean 1970s, not 70-year-old. Which,
Yeah.
honestly, to be fair, still does it for me. But
so you're saying you want to fuck President Snow? Problematic.
you know what? My vagina can have problematic desires. Doesn't matter.
What about your heart, Amanda?
It's not my heart that wants to fuck him.
My heart can shut up.
Okay.
I was gonna say we have 2 Star Wars and a Watcher in this group, which is wild. We got a Grand Moff, we got a Count, and a Wizard. It's both.
And we got the original James Bond. I don't mean the character. I mean the person who it is probably based on.
What?
Christopher Lee. So Ian Fleming was a cousin of Christopher Lee's. Christopher Lee was a British spy who spied against the Nazis and fucked a lot.
Nice.
James Bond is Christopher Lee.
Oh, man. See,
Christopher
that makes the
Lee.
Daniel Craig version of James Bond even better because, honestly, he's my favorite Bond. Even though his movies aren't necessarily great, he, as Bond, is
I love his
amazing.
commentary.
They're pretty good.
I mean, I've only seen the
earlier
first 2,
ones.
and I love Casino
yeah, I
Royale.
think they're considered pretty high in the
Yes.
oeuvre of all of that. I would have to ask someone else since this is not like my area of expertise of what people
You know
think.
what? Julian and his sister actually know the whole Bond universe really well.
That is so funny. I was gonna say I like Timothy Dalton.
I like Timothy Dalton.
I do too. I was gonna say I like Timothy Dalton.
It's from Buffy. Andrew says it, and Jonathan and Warren both smack him in the head, and it's like,
So
It's
it's
not him as, but it's just I think he's hot.
oh,
Oh,
Timothy
and
Dalton in
actually-
Hot Fuzz.
Yes, thank
Oh
you,
my God,
Timothy Dalton in
yes.
Hot Fuzz, and I'm going there like,
Yeah, mustache rides, baby.
for days.
Well, anyway, back to this movie. If you discovered that your fate was to die sooner rather than later, would you embrace it or would you fight against it?
I have a book that's called The Machine of Death, and its whole premise, and it's an anthology, so you have different like horror and science fiction writers who contributed to it, and the whole premise is that there's a machine that will tell you how you're going to die. Not necessarily when you're going to die, but how. And so I thought of that a lot when I was watching this, and then I saw this picture, this question. I am so tired. I would probably fight.
Yeah.
I'm scrappy. I would be like, you don't get to tell me what to do, fate.
Yeah, I don't believe in things being predestined and set, so I would fight.
You are
I'd be
not my supervisor.
Yeah, bitch, please. I'd be like, okay, well, what religion are you from? Because now we need to have a conversation, because every religion has a different idea of fate and destiny and whatnot. And, like, I was raised Jewish, but I don't believe in anything, but even still, Judaism really doesn't have the heaven and the hell and all that, so, like, we gotta talk here.
I would probably be like, okay. Look,
May's just belly up in most of these
May's just, like,
situations. Just
fine.
turns over, belly up, like.
I think we all know
here.
I'm a natural sub, but also, y'all, the world fucking sucks.
does.
If I did a tarot pull, and again, the death card doesn't actually mean death.
No.
It means change,
Yep.
and movies always use it wrong.
Rebirth,
what-
transformation.
It's fine. They're using it for their purposes.
Well, they're using it because he is literally death.
Yeah.
I am your fate.
But if I found out from a poll that I was certainly going to die, like if I'm getting the 10 of swords, that's basically like, you're fucked. I'm just gonna be like, cool, it's my time. I'm okay with that.
I like how we have 3 different answers. You're just like, yeah, whatever. Caitlin's like, I'm gonna fight. I'm scrappy like that. And I'm like, I'm gonna look for a loophole.
You're like, I am getting down to the core philosophy of what is happening here
Yeah,
so
I am
that
going
I
to
can
find a
talk my
loophole.
way out of it. Well, speaking of loopholes, let's get into some role play.
Is that your bathing suit? Is that your overbite?
Now, one of you will be the drowning victim, and the other one gets to be our lifesaver.
I'll be the victim. All your life.
Speaking of holes.
You said it.
All right, as it is Anthology August, this is an anthology film, and the wraparound story goes back and forth with the segments. So I wrote this out in order that it happens in the movie. 6 gentlemen crowd into a train compartment, and as the train begins to move, Dr. Shrek, aka Dr. Terror, drops his tarot cards, intriguing his fellow passengers. He explains how the cards work and starts with a reading for Jim, played by Neil McCallum.
Neil?
Meal McCallum.
Good
Damn
old
it.
meal.
Now I can't edit that part out earlier.
Yes, you can. You could just ignore that I said that. Here, take it back.
No, but it's funny.
It is very funny. I mean, I would keep it in because that
You
was
trying to
very
tell me
funny.
you could slip out of those handcuffs anytime? Only when it was funny.
Yep.
So this predicts Jim's demise. In the story, Jim arrives at his former ancestral home in the Hebrides in Scotland, which is an archipelago. I looked it up.
I did too.
Now occupied by the widow, Mrs. Deidre Biddulph, who wants some remodeling done
Yeah,
and
she
called in
does.
his firm to do it. If I had gone there, I would have been like, hello, miss.
Yeah.
Do you need any remodeling done in the bedroom?
In
Can
the
I take a
downstairs?
look?
Basement.
In the downstairs? Need downstairs remodeling
In the
done?
basement. That's exactly where you need your remodeling done.
The late Mr. Biddulph was an archaeologist, and it's her intention to turn the house into a sort of museum of his findings. As they converse, Jim hears a howling from outside. In the cellar, he smashes open a section of the wall with a crowbar and discovers the coffin of Cosmo Valdemar, the werewolf, who claimed the house was his several hundred years ago, but the plaster ceiling in the coffin is relatively new. While they're fetching a tool to open it, the occupant of the coffin departs, leaving its paw prints in the dirt.
So this used to be Jim's home?
It's his
Yeah,
ancestral home.
It was his ancestral home for a
Yes.
couple hundred years.
And he sold it to this lady because he could no longer afford it.
Right.
Yeah, a poor architect. Interesting.
Actually, in the real world, architects don't make that
No,
much money.
I know. I'm just always confused. Like, if something is your ancestral home, don't you just own it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
You don't have to
You couldn't-
pay for it anymore.
Right, yeah, the land, because this is old country, there'd be no lease on the land anymore. But I think it's maybe that he had no other avenue to get the kind of money he needed.
Got
So
it.
he sold it, which maybe means he made some really bad financial choices because he's making money and he is successful in his field. So,
All right. Jim finds a note from Valda, the housekeeper, and Caleb, the groundskeeper's granddaughter, asking to meet, but she is suddenly found outside, dead, a trail of blood leading from her corpse down to the cellar. Jim opens the coffin to find a rotting corpse and is scratched on the back of his hand. Upstairs, he fires what he thinks are silver bullets at the werewolf and is attacked by Mrs. Biddulph, who herself is actually a werewolf and the wife of Cosmo Valdemar.
have
Oh,
either
yeah.
of you seen The Beast Must Die?
No, I really want to watch that, though. It's been on
It
my
has
list
a werewolf
for a bit.
break
Nice.
where it takes a pause
that.
so that you can guess who you think the werewolf is.
That is
Oh, I love
so
that.
fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
So
It's really
good.
fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Next up is Bill, played by Alan Freeman, who returns from a holiday with his wife Anne and daughter Sarah to find a vine growing in the corner of the garden.
Oh, Audrey, too.
All right.
When he attempts to cut the vine with a hoe, it yelps out in pain, and when he attempts to cut it with shears, it shocks them out of his hands. He recruits the help of a friend named Jerry, who is like some kind of plant scientist,
He's a plant man.
who comes to stay with the family in order to investigate the vine. Rusty the dog is strangled by the vine, and under a microscope, Jerry discovers a brain within the plant before it strangles him too. His boss Hopkins comes to help, but the vine has cut the phone line and sealed them all in the house. Hopkins uses the power of fire to temporarily repel the vine and escape, leaving the family to contend with its evil. Now it's time for Biff Bailey, played by Roy Castle, who shows off his actual trumpet skills.
And
Oh my
fully
god.
deserves
I
his
totally
demise.
like
Oh yeah.
I totally that Vine one. Okay, I just have to say it's my least favorite of all of them. I know we have a question about which one's our favorite, but that was my least favorite because it is so short and like
He didn't do anything.
Right?
He did not do anything. He's barely an active participant in his own story.
or then you're like, you use it to repel the vine and escape, leaving the family to contend with its evil. And I was like, wait, what? Oh, that's the end.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Vine one, but it definitely it's not executed as well as it could be. It feels like an incomplete episode of the Twilight
Yeah.
Zone.
Because he's also less of an active participant in his story than the other
Yeah.
men are. Like, Biff Bailey totally deserves. He is a douche.
Yeah, and let's find out why. So after showing off his actual trumpet skills, Caitlin, did you have
Oh
something?
yes, I was going to say that he is or was an actual jazz musician. There's supposed to be a different jazz musician playing this part who had a heart attack like a week before filming was supposed to start. So they had to find someone very quickly. However, because something that had to do with music rights, his trumpet playing is dubbed over with a different trumpet player.
Oh, so it's not actually
It's
him.
not him.
It looks like him playing, and
Well,
he probably was
playing
playing
the
on
they
trumpet.
changed. Wow.
Ah,
But
that's a fucking
what
bummer.
you're hearing is a different trumpet player. So yes, wild,
That's so
wild
weird.
times.
Anyway, he and his ensemble, who are played by the Tubby something quintet, and Tubby is the saxophone player. He rules. So they are sent to Paiti in the West Indies for a gig at the Flamingo. Biff insults the cigarette girl's ring, depicting the voodoo god Damballa, and we get a record scratch moment because all the women in the club are wearing similar jewelry.
And there's a woman right behind him in an amazing polka dot dress.
Oh my god.
He ignores warnings and sneaks off to observe a voodoo ritual that night.
I love this. Like, it's a religious ceremony, and you're not like, you don't subscribe. I'm like, yay for the lead singer of the band that is playing
The
at
guy
this
from the East London
resort.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
I love that guy. He's great. He writes out the music for what the practitioners are performing and is forcibly brought into the ceremony by some of the men, then ejected.
Rightfully so.
Back in the UK, Biff and Co. play his arrangement of the ritual music, and the club is beset by gale force winds, and the entire audience departs.
It's gale force winds.
I was hoping you were going to make that joke. At home, Biff is tormented by supernatural occurrences, culminating in the arrival of Damballa himself, who takes the sheet music, leaving Biff for dead.
Damballa is a real god.
I did the Googling too here.
Yes. Well, actually, what was funny about this is, I mean, I'm a Chucky Child's Play fan.
I was
very
gonna
much
say,
so,
yeah.
so that,
Yep.
Give me the power, I beg of you.
yes, and didn't know much about, because obviously I do not
And it is
come
a god
from like the
across
Haitian.
different African diaspora religions.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
just, but this is the West Indies. It would have been something called Obeah is there.
Yeah,
is what I
well,
read.
It's kind of, so it's actually like a lot of different religions coming out of mostly West Africa, a lot of like the Yoruba, the
Cuba
Fon.
as well as where some of them.
Oh, yeah. And so it's all a little different. Some of it is like Louisiana voodoo versus like Haitian voodoo. And this is like one of the most important Loa or spirits. And it typically is a black, white, or rainbow snake. It was kind of created by the Sky Father, who is Bandai, as one of the primordial like creators of life, as benevolent, patient, wise. I like this at once the ancient past and assurances of the future. And I actually found out about all of this watching Project Runway. Because there was a contestant who was from Haiti and he did a piece based on Damballa. And I was just like, what?
Cool. I love that.
Originates from Benin, so.
All right. In the next segment, Christopher Lee's Franklin Marsh, author and art critic, insults paintings created by Eric Landor, played by Michael Goh, aka everyone's favorite Alfred. Marsh is humiliated after praising the work of an artist who turns out to be a chimp. I love this.
He's
just
such an asshole.
Also,
He's
this
such an
section
asshole.
is the genesis of Thing from the Addams Family.
Yep. Everywhere he goes, he runs into Landor. So he decides to run him over with his car, resulting in the loss of Landor's right hand. Distraught after waking from his coma, Landor dies by suicide. However, his hand goes after Marsh, who attempts to defeat it by throwing it into a fire.
Maybe it's because I'm slightly ambidextrous that I was just like, I don't know. It seemed like an overreaction to me, even as
I'm a
an
little
artist. Like,
ambidextrous as well.
you could definitely especially with the style of art he was creating, I feel
Just
like
do different
he could
art.
have overcome losing a hand.
I mean,
I don't know.
if I lost my right hand, I would never be able to play guitar or bass again. I would have to switch to all keyboards. I would have to be like the Def Leppard drummer and use pedals.
But what you're saying is, though,
You could still
that there
do shit.
are
yeah.
other ways.
Yes, for sure. However, a painter who is right-handed, I mean, that's real tricky.
See, wouldn't that now make his art really
understand.
expensive?
Premium for non-dominant hand painting.
Well, no,
after
just the
loss
old
of a
stuff
hand.
he made, because now there's the idea that he can't anymore. Oh, the prices just went up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or he could learn to paint with his mouth
True.
or his toes.
Yes.
Caitlin and I, we're coming up with solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. We're solution-based people.
Well,
hook.
Solution.
Etching with a hook.
Like attach. I have to just say it too. I feel like this is important. Like my dad lost quite a few of his fingers on his right hand in a wood cutting accident. So he had to relearn how to like reuse a lot of his right hand. He doesn't have still full use of it. So there are things that he can't do the way that he used to want to. So it's.
When people in the past were left-handed, they would literally be beaten into them to write with their right hand. So I don't see why someone who's a righty couldn't do the same to their brain with their left hand. Just reverse. I can write backwards with my left hand. I can also write backwards with my right hand. But I can only write forwards with my right hand.
That is very funny. Sometimes I just like randomly will write something backwards. Like it won't be the whole word. It'll be just like a couple letters in it. I'm like, why? How did this happen?
I can write like entire sentences backward.
I mean, I could do it, but sometimes when I'm not paying attention and I'm just writing, I'm like, that is wild. What am I up to? Why would I do this?
Ambidextrous bisexuals.
Right. Why would anyone make me write anything with my hands? Because it is serial killer handwriting. Anyway.
So anyway. The fire does not stop the hand, which comes to Marcia's office and strangles him until he throws it off and stabs it with a letter opener, deposits it in a box, and dumps the box in the river. But not even this can defeat the curse, because it causes him to get in a car accident, resulting in the loss of his sight. Poetic justice is such a beautiful thing. The final segment goes to Dr. Bob Carroll, played by a young and, in my opinion, very handsome Donald Sutherland.
Dr. Bob.
He arrives home with his new French wife, Nicole, and cuts his finger trying to open a can of beans. She cleans up his wound by consuming his blood, and that night departs their bedroom in the form of a bat while he is asleep.
A bat. What a great bat puppet.
Oh, I love it. The glowing eyes. They're so
cute. It's like a seagull when you don't see it and it's just in shadow. It's like, have you ever seen a bat before?
In the morning, Dr. Blake comes to pick up Bob for work at the clinic, and Nicole stares daggers into the man. Young boy Johnny seems to have a deficit of blood in his body, along with 2 puncture wounds on his neck, leading Dr. Blake to joke that it could be a vampire. That night at the lab, the bat attempts to attack him, but he raises his arms in the sign of the cross, which scares it off.
First I thought it was just an X. And
I know, he was just like...
I'm like, that's not a cross, that's an X. It's like St. Andrew's cross? What are we talking about? Is it any kind of cross? I have
Do you know where I can get one of those tea necklaces? Yeah, that's a cross. A cross from where? Johnny is still ill, so Dr. Blake waits in his bedroom that night with a freaking gun pointed at the window should the vampire appear. He fires at the bat, and Nicole returns home with a bleeding hand. I cut it on the window. At the clinic, Dr. Blake explains what a vampire is to Bob while sharpening a stake and suggesting that Nicole is the vampire. When she returns from her nightly feeding, Bob declares his love for her, bestowing a gentle kiss upon her lips before he stakes her. The police arrive, followed by Dr. Blake, who not only refuses to corroborate Bob's story, but seems glad to be rid of him. And that's because this town isn't big enough for 2 doctors. Or 2 vampires.
Da da da! Twist!
Back on the train, each of the men receives the death card as their 5th pull, indicating there is no way to change their fate. And Dr. Terror suddenly vanishes.
I do love every time he pulls the death card and he's like, no big deal. Don't worry about it. Nothing like, to see here.
Not gonna
Pay
show
no attention to the man behind the curtain. Like, mm-mm.
As they depart the train, they find themselves at the end of the line, and a newspaper floats down with a headline depicting the news of their deaths by train crash. Dr. Terror, Death himself, now a skeleton in a cloak, leads them into the station as the credits roll.
Yes.
All right, so just a softball question as opposed to our opening question. Which segment was your favorite?
I'm between the werewolf and the vampire. I might go with the werewolf just because it's got old Dark House vibes. So those are always things that speak to me. There's, the inherent eroticism of the old house and the lonely widow and the weird housekeeper, what's going on. So that's the one that really...
My favorite is definitely the voodoo segment. I was really shocked at how not racist it was. Was it perfect? No, absolutely not.
Still a little racist.
However, well, no, I mean, but considering
Yes, it's still,
like the
we are saying that the cultural appropriator is the bad guy.
Right, and that like he gets a lot of warnings, and it's not necessarily like, oh, this scary thing from a different culture. Like, ooh, it's very like anti-colonialist. Again, is it perfect in its depiction of like Haitian voodoo? No, absolutely not. But the whole idea that he is being warned, like, don't mess with this, don't touch this, and he's like,
Like, who cares? I'm a white man. I can do what I want. It's like, bitch, please.
and it really does feel like it, again, isn't like, oh, spooky shit from other places, but it's like, yo, stop colonizing things, especially considering that this is British. And who have a very long history of colonizing that area of the world.
During one of the World Cup games, it was England versus Ghana, and the announcer, as the teams are like lining up, getting ready to play, said, oh, look, Ghana facing off against England, looking down one of their colonizers.
Holy shit. That's incredible. Yeah, I don't know. I think werewolf, vampire, and the disembodied hand are all pretty great. But yeah, I think the voodoo segment is my favorite. A, because I love jazz, and B, because of everything you just said, Caitlin. I mean, this guy really gets his comeuppance for being a stupid white guy who does not care how his actions affect people.
Like, cultural appropriation is the villain in this one.
Yeah.
So we all kind of agree that the Vine one is the least fleshed out.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's
again,
a great concept.
Again, if it had been a full hour-long Twilight Zone segment, I think it could have been really cool. Because the idea of a killer sentient plant, very interesting. It reminds me a little bit of Where the Wild Things Are, the Buffy season 4 episode where she and Riley can't stop fucking.
They fuck so much it wakes the poltergeist.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, so was this a first watch for both of y'all? Okay. And what did you think of it in terms of it just being a horror anthology?
I enjoyed this a lot. I had a lot of fun. I don't think it's perfect, but I had a lot of fun, and I would watch this again. And that's really, that's all I need.
Can't remember if I said this last week or if I've ever said this on mic, but, anthologies are not necessarily my favorite thing because I like getting really, into the story, and then it ends, and I'm like, no, but I
want more!
Yeah. I have the exact same. You want to get invested in one.
But, I do really like the Twilight Zone. There's, TV shows I don't necessarily have the same feelings about, so I kind of approach this as, well, this is like a TV show. Let's think about it like that, not necessarily like a short films. And I had a hard time connecting with the first two stories, but I felt once we got to 3, which is Voodoo, and then we get into the Art Critic, I was very much locked in, and I like this. This is a lot of fun. Peter Cushing looks wild.
Yeah, his performance is so good, though.
So
I fucking
good.
love it. Yeah, I thought I had watched this when I was younger, but apparently I had not. I watched it in October 2020. And we all know that that was not a great time for me. So I think it was really nice for me to just get distracted by something like this as I was, losing my fucking mind. And rewatching it this time, I appreciated it more. My issues with it felt less important because I was able to just get into its vibe and once again have a good time, despite the fact that, listeners, in case you can't tell by my voice, I am not feeling great. We finally got rid of all of the wildfire smoke in Chicago at the same time that it really cooled off here. And so it was nice to open the windows the other night and sleep that way, but my lungs have been killing me the last few days. So anyway.
I was also going to say there is, and it's actually going to be a future guest, but there is an actor, director, writer in Seattle who does a show called Uncle Basement's Attic of Horrors. And I was like, I feel like I get it now. I mean, I got most of the show. Let's be very, very clear about this. The friend that I went with last time was just like, you look like you were ready for the punchline. Like the whole thing, like you were just so excited to laugh at what the punchline was going to be. I was like, I pick up on a lot of these, so it's just a lot of fun to be like,
you know what? Okay, here's the thing with anthologies. Sometimes they take themselves really, really seriously, and it feels a little hard to get invested, and sometimes they do too many. So either it becomes this thing where they're too quick, or it's so long as a movie that you're just like, Jesus fucking Christ. This doesn't take itself as seriously. It's only an hour and a half. It's goofy. I think that's part of why this works for me.
So Freddie Francis also directed several other anthology movies, which I am guessing you are going to talk about as we move on. So I've seen a bunch of those, and I like a lot of them. And they're unique in that they're directed by one person. A lot of anthologies are one person does the wraparound, and then each segment is directed by an individual.
I know we have one of the VHS movies coming up this month. Is it's 85, I want to say?
Yeah, that's next week's episode.
I feel like I've seen it. I think that's one of the ones I've seen before, and I feel like that's one I remember hating.
Oh, no.
It's
my favorite.
I don't love that franchise. And I don't know if that's one, though. I feel like it's one of the ones I watched, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's keep talking about this movie.
Is it because Scott Derrickson has a...
Okay, I do hate this one, yes. I hate that segment.
That's so funny, because I fucking love that segment so much.
Segment.
You hate Scott Derrickson.
I hate that segment. I think it is derivative.
Amanda
and the movie
hates
is so
Scott.
fucking long.
What's Danny DeVito's art critic character?
Ongo Blagovian?
Yes, thank you.
Ongo Blagovian.
Derivative.
It is derivative.
Well,
Sexist.
Well,
Let's get there next week.
Let's save that discussion for next week and keep it on Dr. Terror's House of Horrors.
I liked this movie.
Good. Well, let's discuss more about the film in our next section, Faith and Chance.
I can't exist by myself because I'm afraid of myself, because I'm the maker of my own evil. Goodness is only some kind of reflection upon evil. That's all it is.
Okay, I'm gonna get to talk about something I love to talk about right now, because this movie came out in 1965, and you know what was going on in movies in 1965? The top of the box office, won 5 Academy Awards, The Sound of Music. Do you know who fucking loved The Sound of Music? It was the last movie he saw before he died, and was like, this is what movies should be. Joseph Breen, the guy who enforced the Hays Code.
That is wild.
Interesting. So he didn't like Nazis, but he also didn't like liberated people. That's confusing.
Yep.
Oh, the sound
Did
of
not
music.
like Nazis.
contained
Did love The
multitudes.
Sound of Music. It was a good, clean movie.
Oh, it's very clean. We watched that a lot when I was growing up. My grandparents had the 2 VHS set, one of like the 5 that they had.
Yep.
However, we almost only ever watched the first half because the second half is quite boring. There's a lot of the love story, so when you're younger, there was one point when I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, I forgot there are Nazis in this.
I have not seen it since I was probably 10 years old.
That's fine.
I love Julie Andrews, though.
Yes.
I will I will
I also
cry.
love
In real
Christopher
life,
Plummer.
apparently, has a potty mouth.
Oh, I mean,
Nice.
excellent person. And because she can't really sing anymore because of the polyps that were on her vocal cords, a lot of it had to do with the Sound of Music because she was hitting notes that are way too high. There's a few of them in there. Mm-hmm. But just pushing too hard, polyps can happen to anyone. When she got them removed, it fucked up her vocal cords. So she doesn't sing anymore. So now every time I hear her sing, I just start crying.
Oh.
I'm just like, I love her so much. It's so beautiful.
But The Sound of Music also saved 20th Century Fox from bankruptcy because you know what made them almost go bankrupt? Cleopatra.
Starring a different queen, but
We
yes.
should cover Cleopatra sometime because if you've listened to our Identikit episode, you know how much Caitlin loves Elizabeth Taylor.
The second highest grossing movie at the box office that year and the highest grossing British movie is Dr. Zhivago. Now, this is the
silence
first...
on our parts. We go,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Never seen it.
Neither have I.
Don't care.
Me
Seems
neither.
long.
This is the first horror movie from Amicus, the studio that made this, and it is also their first in a line of anthology films for the studio, as May was bringing up. And just interesting thing going on in the UK in the 60s is that in 1965, a British peer proposed decriminalizing homosexuality in the House of Lords. This would actually go through over the next 2 years. So you kind of see, and I'm only bringing this up because there's definite queerness kind of interwoven throughout this movie, and you see it become more and more prominent in a not coded and a not negative way throughout the 60s in English film.
And you kind of just set me right up for that because Amicus Productions. Like I said, this was founded by American producers and screenwriters, Milton Subotsky and Max Rosenberg. This was founded in 1962, is active until 1977. Subotsky really wanted to basically do his own The Dead of Night, which came out in 1945, which is a horror anthology movie, and he considered it the greatest horror film ever made.
I gave that movie a 2.5 out of 5.
I have never seen it.
I have not seen it either.
It's
Again,
got
an
a
anthology,
couple
so.
great segments, but the rest of it is not good. Most of it is not executed well. And there's one segment that's focused on golf. And it's bad. It's bad.
I mean, golf could be scary. All the white people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very long and boring. Unless you're drinking, and then it's great.
Tyler,
And
you're
you're
sex
just
tape?
drunk.
Right, exactly. You're just drinking, and I don't care about any of this. But Dead of Night is an early and very influential example of the horror anthology genre. Though the first horror anthology as a movie came out in 1919, the Weimar Republic produced 3 of these. It's funny because, again, I'm not doing the German.
Freezing. Oh my god, those
But-
names.
Mm-hmm. So we have the first one in 1919 was Uncanny Stories / Eerie Tales. This was followed by Weary Death or Destiny, which was directed by Fritz fucking Lang.
Oh, love me some Fritz Lang.
And then Waxworks, directed by Paul Lenny and Leo Berinsky. So those were the first 3, and then Dead of Night came out in 45. So there's actually, because those first 3 came out, I think, 1919, 1922, and 1924, somewhere in there.
So there's silence.
Mm-hmm. And then the next one to come was Dead of Night in 45.
So it's the first talkie.
And And as Amanda said, Amicus Productions was really best known for their horror portmanteau, which I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was another name for horror anthologies. Thank you, Internet. They're also really well known for getting confused with Hammer horror because they used a lot of the same people.
And it looks it's a similar visual.
Yes,
The aesthetics are extremely similar. The way the blood looks in particular. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable they would get mixed up. And I think if you're someone who is into those kinds of horror movies, you're going to be happy with either production company.
And then there's also the Roger Cormans of the same era.
There's Roger Corman did one. Oh, there's Kwaidan came out in this era. The Kobayashi. So
it's a very distinct, because it's the Technicolor thing. It's a very distinct visual, which I love. So
yes, and for Amicus we have Torture Garden. These are all of the Portmentaeu Horror. Torture Garden in 1967, The House That Dripped Blood, 1971. Tales from the Crypt, 1972. Asylum, 1972. Vault of Horror, 1973. And From Beyond the Grave in 1974.
I have seen all of those except Torture Garden and From Beyond the Grave. And I can vouch that they're all pretty good. I saw that Tales from the Crypt movie on TV when I was like 9 or 10, and it scared the fucking shit out of me. There's a segment where like someone is locked in some kind of like tunnel-filled basement or passageway-filled basement with a bunch of really, really angry dogs, and it kind of freaked me out to the point that I was like a little afraid of dogs for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. It's because they're scary and they'll just lunge at you for no reason.
You just sounded like the Chamberlain from Dark Crystal. Hey, know the grudge.
I had someone when I worked at Hollywood Video got so mad at me for making that noise, and that was kind of like my my sound I was making at the time, where I go like, she's like, you can't do that.
You still do that sometimes.
Oh, I'm sure I do.
Yeah, when I'm editing and you do it, and I'm like focused on me or Amanda, because sometimes you'll do it in the background of one of us talking, I'm just like,
It's nice that we're on video now, so you can see their face.
Mm-hmm. True.
And not just
hear it.
My friend Amanda, who lives here, is terrified of the grudge, and if you make that noise around her, she will yell at you.
Yep.
Well deserved.
Yep.
But
I
yeah, she's from Wisconsin. She don't fuck around.
That's so good. I did
tell us about Doctor Who.
Right? I felt like this was very important, at least to my family, to point out. My sister's named after a Doctor Who character, just FYI.
Which one?
So, Nyssa. So she's one of the fourth Doctor's companions.
As much as I don't like Tom Baker, hot take, I do love Nyssa as a companion, and I don't think I realized. So we're all
nerds who have watched Doctor Who here. Great.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Grew up watching it.
Sorry,
Great.
Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee are two of my favorite Doctors of all time. That's 2 and 3 in classic Doctor Who. They were both fantastic. Anyway.
Yeah, my mom got to name me, my dad named my sister, and he chose a Doctor Who character, so.
Nice.
Boop. Amicus produced 2 Doctor Who films, Doctor Who and the Daleks, and then the 65, and then Daleks Invasion Earth, 2150 AD and 66.
I have seen both of these because Riff Tracks riffed them, and it's you're about to say why it's weird, but I also want to say that Roy Castle, who was in this movie, is essentially a companion in those movies. Yeah,
interesting. But as you said, this is why they're kind of weird, or at least one of the reasons, is because. So Peter Cushing plays Doctor Who, but but he's a human scientist, not an alien. Who is his actual, last name? And I love this part that, quote, disregarding the then nebulous backstory of the TV series.
I really hope that we have a bunch of listeners who have no idea what the fuck the Doctor Who lore is. So they're just like, yeah, what do you mean? Doctor Who, that's his name, yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that weird? What are you talking about? And we're sitting here like, yeah, that's fucking weird.
And Amicus, they really used actors kind of from all over, people who were in just various stages of their careers. So this was also very interesting to me that John Pertwee who was the third Doctor, appeared in Amicus's The House That Dripped Blood.
His segment in that is amazing.
And then Tom Baker, who is the fourth Doctor, as I said, duh, but apparently May is not a fan, which is
Sorry.
just...
Look, I know people love Tom Baker. I think he's kind of a dick to his companions. And I don't find that charming. I prefer my doctors to be empathetic and collaborative. I don't like it when they just constantly talk down to their companions, and that's what Baker does.
Fair. Can we just say Pertwee? Such a great name. Pertwee.
And we're actually going to be talking about his son, Sean Pertwee, next month when we cover Event Horizon.
Oh. Tom Baker did also appear the year before he became the fourth Doctor in Vault of Horror.
You mean a human doctor whose last name is who? That?
Who?
No. Who? And his segment in Vault of Horror is also pretty fucking great. And speaking of things that are pretty great, this has a 100% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but that's only based on 5 reviews. I mean, this came out, 60 fucking years ago. So it's not aggregating from a lot of sources. It's got a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb and a 3.3 out of 5, or a 6.6 out of 10 on Letterboxd. And this is I think I originally gave it a 3.5. This time I gave it a 4, just because, again, I just really enjoyed it. Sometimes it's nice to just have a low stakes, fun horror movie.
See, that's kind of I gave it a 3, but I also gave it a heart. And that's kind of my, when I give a heart, that's me saying, look, this isn't perfect. There's a lot of really shaggy stuff here, but I really enjoy this. If I just give something a 3 and no heart, I'm just like, it's meh. I'm not going to watch this again. I don't care. I'm not going to recommend this. It is.
It is not often that I review things and don't give them a heart. So when I do, I had some issues with it.
I'm specific with my hearts because that way I can do my number rating of I give this a 0.5 star and a heart. It's a piece of shit, but I love it. I give it a 0.5 star and no heart. It's a piece of shit. Do not watch this. I am so mad I even watched this.
See, and sometimes I just, if I love something enough, I don't care how bad it is. I'm giving it 4 to 5 stars.
There are certain things that I will do that for, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw the movie Things on Saturday at the Music Box in a room full of other fucking sickos. And that is a 0.5 star movie, but it was a 5-star experience. So I gave it 5 stars. And then the director liked my review, commented on my review, correcting the quote that I used in it, and then followed me.
Wow.
Yeah. He knows his movie sucks, and he loves that people love it anyway. Speaking of things that suck, let's make that money. And now we'll dig into the meat, the goo, and the viscera in a section we call Enough is a Myth.
No. I've done enough. Enough is a myth.
Okay. All the men in this movie die because they're on the one train car that does not stay safe after the accident. While they talk to Dr. Terror, he talks about being able to change one's fate. So I wonder, were these men always destined to die, or could they have conceivably gotten on a different train car and lived? Would that train car then also have been deadly?
I think these guys are fucked no matter what. I mean...
These 5 people.
Yeah.
5 people. that train gets derailed and a whole 5 people died, and it
Just
was in
one
that one
train
car.
Yeah, no, these guys were fucked, and I think it's because all of them would have made terrible mistakes and harmed a lot of people, and so this is kind of like death coming in and being like, I'm just gonna nip this in the bud.
Nice plant reference.
Right?
Thank you.
I'm gonna say I agree with May on this because
This is interesting because my next 2 questions are going to lead us down different paths, and we'll see if you still feel the same after that.
It is really hard to say because they did each have very different places that their fates were taking them to.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they were all in the same train car, what are the odds?
Where did they say
Bradley.
that they're... Bradley, okay.
It's somewhere in the UK.
Right. I'm just wondering if they were like going there because it's more of a transportation
That's
hub.
what I was
and then
guessing.
Branching out from there.
They were
I'm more
going
curious
to,
where they're coming from.
I think they're all going somewhere a little more remote, so they have to get to Bradley to then get to their next destinations.
That makes
I was
sense.
also wondering if, like, are these the things that are going to happen to them immediately after they get to their destination?
Well, the architect is going to Bradley to then get a boat to the Hebrides? Hebrides.
The Hebrides.
The Hebrides.
Yeah, and I imagine that Donald Sutherland's character is heading to France to
propose
to his wife or fiance
Nicole.
Sorry, just because Scotland and France are
it's-
not in the same direction whatsoever.
Don't
We just
worry
want
about
wait,
it.
wait
Well,
a
okay,
minute.
let's
Wait
talk
a minute.
about the futures that
Yes.
Dr. Terrace shows all 5 men. I think there are different ways to read this, but first, do any of them deserve their fates? Did they bring it on themselves, Biff Bailey? Who was just a victim of circumstance?
Yeah, Biff and the art critic. Mm-hmm. Christopher Lee's character. Absolutely brought this upon themselves. I mean, he runs over that artist. That was crazy.
He's
to
like,
me.
stop humiliating me. I'm going to hit you with my car. Like, damn, dude, someone needs some DBT skills.
The rest of the guys, though, I mean, our first story, this is his ancestors brought this upon him. He didn't even know about it. Cosmo in there. In the wall.
Granted, I don't think Cosmo was a good guy.
Right.
No.
Werewolf.
I don't think Jim deserved his wolfy fate.
No.
Yeah.
What's his name in the plant one? He didn't
They came
seem
back
like a
from
bad
vacation.
guy.
It was like, oh,
There's the plant.
fuck.
Yeah, I don't think he deserved
Kill
that.
me.
And then
Dr. Bob?
Dr. Bob doesn't seem like a bad guy, so I'm going to say he doesn't deserve his fate either.
He just married a sexy French lady who happened to be a vampire.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And brought her to a town that already had a vampire.
I love that fucking reveal.
It's really funny.
And I love that you retroactively are like, oh, that's why she was looking at him like that.
Dr. Terror is obviously death, and he knows all 5 men are fated to die. So what I'm wondering, the visions that he shows them, are those rooted in reality? Are these the real things that would happen if they did not die in this train car? Because these men, as far as they know, live in the real world, and death could exist in a world that does not have vampires and werewolves and evil plants. So, is he actually just showing them these wild and fanciful futures as a way to distract them as they are actively dying?
Oh, that is not something I had considered. But
if you have really bad hay fever, all plants are evil. So.
But you know, when someone is going through a traumatic experience or actively dying, your brain can play tricks on you. So I wonder if that's what's going on here, that he is just distracting them from a painful train crash with, actually, you're going to have an evil plant kill you.
I definitely also wondered where where the train crash happened, like while they are talking about all of this, because we see them get on the train. And I feel like this kind of goes into your question. There's no answer, really. The movie, I don't think, gives us any indication when that might happen, but that is definitely...
And since they have no idea, that would speak to my theory that he's being nice. He is shepherding them to death in the least painful way possible.
And don't worry about that card. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that they seem to die peaceful deaths from the train accident, whereas all of their fates in the stories were pretty horrific and would not have been painless. So, yeah, maybe he is doing them a kindness almost. And especially when they do get off the train and realize where they are and who he is, he's not trying to frighten them. He just silently walks into the station and they follow, which is like, it's kind of nice.
I did once shout, "Oh my God, Sharon!"
Sharon! Biff should have never done that accent, and no one, white people should not be doing that. So that is all I want to say about that.
This all just goes back to Biff had it coming.
Biff
Biff
sucked.
had it coming. We were singing, he had it coming.
Jazz musician.
Biff, squish, Cicero.
Goes to steal other people's music, and this is what you get. Yes.
He ran into my trumpet. 10 times. And speaking of running into things, let's play a game.
Hello. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
Red Rover, I call Caitlin over. What's our game, Caitlin?
So I had some trivia. I feel like did a good job this time of listing everything out. I have options. This wasn't just half-assed like some of them might have been. I don't know. I'm kidding. I put my whole ass into everything. So.
It's a nice ass.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do a lot of squats. I work at this now. So, having Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and Donald Sutherland in a movie, three massives, particularly Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in terms of horror.
Royalty.
Horror royalty, abso-fucking-lutely. So, my first question for you is, how many films did Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing appear in together? Their whole thing. Lives. Careers. That's the word I was looking at. The whole careers. The oeuvre. I did want to say oeuvre. Oeuvre. 12, 18, 24, or 32?
I'm going to go with 24.
I'm also going to go with 24.
Correct. It is 24.
Nice.
Hey.
Which I was like, holy shit, that is a lot of movies to appear in with one person.
For the win.
Yeah, I have seen at least 15 of them.
Wonderful.
And one of my favorites is Horror Express, which is, if you have not seen that movie, it's like a cross between The Thing and Murder on the Orient Express.
Ooh.
And Telly Savalas is in it as well. It's such a fucking good movie, and I got to see it at the Alamo last year for Terror Tuesday, or earlier this year, one of the two. Absolutely a blast. If you have not seen it, highly recommend.
Oh, good. I also looked up just for funsies. Christopher Lee and Donald Sutherland were in 3 movies together.
Oh.
3.
So what are the other 2?
The year before, they were in Castle of the Living Dead. And then in 1979, a movie called Bear Island.
Is that where large hairy gay men go for vacation?
That's all I can assume.
Are you what they call a bear?
And then
a woman once pitched a show about lesbians who go bear hunting to Julian, and he was like, by bear, what do you mean?
Question.
I genuinely always wonder what trans women who are into men do, because you go from going for gay and bisexual men to having to go for straight and bisexual men. And it's like, that's gotta be a huge change.
At least you still get to go for the bisexual men.
Very true.
That is, yes. As someone who knows many trans women who are into men, but I think a lot of them actually do, and not all of them, obviously, but there are some trans women who I do think still end up with men who at least at first identify as gay.
Yeah, I know a lot of where it's also like maybe they started dating before and the guy's just like, yeah, no, but I'm still just in love with this person, so whatever.
Yeah. Which honestly is
super
how
sweet.
People should behave.
Sweet.
Fuck you, my ex-wife.
I was talking to someone.
No, look, I'm not going to villainize someone who's like, okay, you're trans. I am really only attracted to X gender.
Oh, no, but she's bisexual, supposedly.
What? Wait, what?
Wait,
no.
have I? No, I swear I've told you this.
No, I didn't know
Amanda,
that. Okay, that does not make sense.
On our second date in 2011, I said, I'm trans and I'm going to want to transition someday. And she said, that's fine. I'm bi. And I also said, and I never want to have children. And she said, yeah, that's fine. I don't either. Neither of those things were fine at all. Which is why I did not start transitioning until 2020, because I was with a woman who just constantly pushed back against my efforts.
I knew she pushed back, but I always thought she was just a straight woman who didn't want to give up like her idea of her perfect like husband family bullshit. That
my brain might have broke a little bit then, because I was going to say like the woman I was talking to, she was just like, hooray for bisexual men. She's like, I guess pansexual men. And then I was like, well, it's basically the same thing. And now I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bi and pan, that's semantics. That's however you feel like identifying. It doesn't.
Right.
One is not more right or wrong. It just, however you feel.
Just
whatever.
means you're into whoever, usually.
It just means that you like all genders. And I always think of it as to people who are pan, it's like gender doesn't matter. It's just like the vibe of a person. And I say bi because I'm like, no, the gender matters in the sense that how someone identifies and presents their gender is part of what makes me attracted to them.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that. But like, it doesn't matter what it is.
I basically just say bi because when I was coming out there, pan wasn't really a term, and because of bi erasure, it's so heavy that
I don't think anyone said pan when any of us were teens and younger. It was solid, like that really came about when I was like early 20s.
Yeah.
Was Christopher Lee bisexual? Am I just making that up?
Definitely.
Yes.
No,
okay, I was like, talk about bisexual.
You know,
not making that up.
Okay, come on. You know Christopher Lee and Vincent Price.
Oh,
icon. Vincent Price,
oh my God.
admitted bisexual icon.
But speaking of bisexuals, what was the first film that Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing appeared in together? Was it Hound of the Baskervilles, Curse of Frankenstein, The Mummy, or Horror of Dracula?
Oh, fuck. I want to say it's Curse of Frankenstein, but it might be The Mummy.
I know The Mummy is the first of the Universal, but I don't think that when we did the 60s remakes, we did The Mummy first. I feel like Dracula actually came first. So I'm going to go Dracula.
May one of your guesses was correct. It is Curse of Frankenstein, 1957.
Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah.
And they were in The Horror of Dracula, 1958. Hound, or Hounds. I don't have Hound. I was like, it is Hound, right?
It's Hound.
That moment. Hound of the Baskervilles came out 1959, as did The Mummy.
Excellent.
Yes. And then to wrap up the fun time we're having right now, who has the most film credits to their name? Cushing, Lee, or Sutherland?
I'm going to say Lee.
Me too.
Because Donald Sutherland, like we said, didn't get into acting until he was in his late 20s. Peter Cushing died way earlier. Christopher Lee stuck around, and he was in so many fucking things.
Yeah, I'm saying Lee as well because Sutherland didn't really start until the later 60s. So by the time he was really hitting his stride, it's when actors weren't doing this cycle of thousands and thousands because the studio system was also done. The Hayes Code was done. The Hammer, the Corman, all of that wasn't quite, those really were the decade before. So I'm going with Lee.
And you're both correct. It is Christopher Lee with approximately about 270 film credits. Donald Sutherland, though, had about 150.
I would have said 163 so for Donald Sutherland. So
Yes. And then Peter Cushing was around 90. So he definitely had the least amount. But yeah, Christopher Lee just...
Oh, no,
everything.
90. So
the man
few.
Never
I
stopped.
know, right? Isn't that wild?
Yeah. All right.
Never stopped fucking either.
Are we calling this a pleaser?
Yeah.
Caitlin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
For two people who are not always huge on anthology movies, I'm so glad y'all had a good time with this. Yeah, and like I said, if you enjoyed this, check out some of the other Amicus anthologies. They're pretty good, and usually there's one, maybe two segments that aren't as strong as the others, but then you still get 3 or 4 that are pretty good, if not great. All right. Any final thoughts on this? No? All right.
I was gonna save that part about the accent to this.
We already did it. Yeah, don't do racist
Biff.
accents. Nope.
No. If you are doing an impersonation of a particular thing, like a line that a character says in a movie, and you are doing it with, awareness, then I think that's fine. But if you are mocking a culture by putting on a generic accent to, try to be like, ha.
I will also point out that he is going to the West Indies, which is not India, but he is doing a parody of an Indian accent.
Yes.
Which makes it even more racist.
Yes. Well, what's also weird is, apparently I did have something else to say. So, because of what the pate, it's probably, he's
Paiti.
the
Paiti?
Paiti. That is actually, from India. That is not necessarily West
The
Indies.
West Indies.
I tried to, because I looked it up, because I was trying to figure out, I was like, okay, let me look up.
He's supposed to be the Caribbean.
Yeah, Caribbean. I think it's supposed to be closer again to Haiti potentially, because all I could find when I look up DuPont is in city is the one in Washington, and I'm like,
it could also be something where the name is different now.
right,
But
that's what I was
he
hoping.
is definitely somewhere around the Caribbean.
Yes, it's absolutely Caribbean.
And the religion is African diaspora. It's not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Haiti, but they just changed the name of it for the movie.
I did actually want to also call out Kenny Lynch, who plays the singer
Thank you.
in that, who is just so excellent. He calls Biff out for being like, oh, it's great to hear a real guy from the West Indies. He's like, West Indies? I'm from the East End. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. I'm from East London.
I loved when he was like, you're taking the music home with you? You're going to die. And then he sits there and plays the funeral march on the piano.
Yep.
More work for my uncle. So I'm looking at Paiti, and that's actually a Thracian tribe in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
So maybe he is saying Haiti, because that would track with the religion. Also, you know what? It could just be a white man being racist.
Yeah, that's
They don't
definitely
know where
true.
they're going. My other favorite part with Kenny Lynch's character is when he starts to play that piece of music in that club in in England, and he's just going like this.
Also, he's real cute.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
He's real
Oh, that
cute.
man is
and is actually from
adorable.
East London. So
Yeah, no, I can hear. You can hear it in the accent. He really does have because the East London accent is not. It's not the RP. I love an East London accent. I lived in East London when I lived in London. I really like it there. Yes, it's gotten very trendy now, but yes, you hear it in his voice that it does have that grit.
And I will just also say for Kenneth Lynch here that he was a singer. And at the time, in the 1960s, he was among the few black singers in the British pop music. So
very attractive man.
Yes. And yeah, I will never get over him just being like, get out. Like, no.
Just like, dude, you're an idiot.
No.
Well, speaking of getting out, I think it's time to wrap up with what awaits you next time.
Don't you see? He's got us now. Okay, this is exactly what he wants. We can't go to the police, not now. He's made sure of that. He's just out there and he's watching us and waiting. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
And that brings us to the end of our episode. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey, fellow train passengers. If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating or review wherever you can, because it helps more people find the show and it makes us all tingly inside. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/podcastperverts. We've got some great stuff coming up in August. We have not completely figured it out yet, but we're probably about to do that as soon as this episode ends. You can also find us on Instagram at Pleasers and Punishers and on Blue Sky at Pleasers Punishers. You can email us at pleaserspunisherspodcast@gmail.com, and we actually have an email to read.
Hi, Pleasers and Punishers. My name is Joaquin, and as a fan of all that is kinky and queer, I love the podcast. I wanted to send a message after listening to your Obsession episode on Patreon. Yay, Patreon patrons!
It's free.
Which was incredible. Even though the discussion was really heavy at times, the nuance in your guys' arguments, as well as the clear respect and care that you showed to one another throughout the episode, really highlighted what makes P&P stand out from other genre-focused podcasts. Please keep doing what you guys are doing, and I can't wait to hear what's next. Joaquin. Thank you, Joaquin. This is so sweet. We did all cry. This we were texting. Caitlin saw it first, texted our 24/7 group thread, because yes, we are texting each other 24/7. Pretty much, except when we're asleep or like watching a movie in a theater. Yep. We are texting each other. Usually when I pick up my phone, Julian's like, "Are you texting May and Caitlin?" Yup. So thank you, Joaquin. This is incredibly sweet.
Yes, thank you. I know you've been following me on Letterboxd for a while, and I just, it means a lot that people like what we do and find value in it, because this is all I do. You know, this is my main thing, and even though I'm poor, it makes me very happy.
Yeah, we wish this were what we're our full
this
time.
is Amanda and I hope Amanda's right next to me as I. Are you wishing? Are we just throwing out wishes now? I thought we learned.
How many jobs do you and I constantly?
I am all over the place.
I know.
Meanwhile, this is all I do is editing podcasts and podcasting, and I am falling behind on my work.
It's hard. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I don't make enough money.
No.
So please sign up for our Patreon.
In Bodies was correct, even though
ad sponsors, give us money to talk about your things.
Making a podcast is really hard. You have to book guests and do the schedule.
And the editing.
Yeah.
And then we have to be camera ready now.
Yep, it's true. Good thing we're all hot.
Yep.
And if you want to see more of me being hot, you can find me on Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Everson Poe. You can find my music on Ampwall, Bandcamp, and streaming services as Everson Poe. And you can hear me podcasting on Tender Subject and Slayerfest 98. Caitlin, where can you be found on the internet?
I can be found at Caitlin of the North on Threads and Instagram, Cat of the North on Letterboxd, and I keep showing up on People Under the Scareses, Buffy Watch Along on their Patreon. So please check out Fuck My Hellmouth. We're on season 6 now. It's very exciting. Nice. They're on season 6. Again, I just get invited and I'm happy to be there.
And Amanda, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me being thirsty on Maine over on Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at Amanda Jane Stern. I'm Witchy Wanderer on Letterboxd, and you can also hear me podcasting on Murder Made Fiction.
Excellent. And as we mentioned earlier, next week's episode will be on my favorite installment in the VHS franchise and one of my favorite found footage movies, VHS 85, with our returning guest, Allison Regal.
I like her.
Oh, yes. We love Allison.
Yes.
If you have not heard our Gonjiam Haunted Asylum episode, please go check that out. We had such a fucking blast with her. And she sent us a bunch of creepy pictures of the haunted hospital that she sort of explored. But until next week, do some aftercare, clean your toys, set healthy boundaries, and...
I don't care how small your town is, there's room for plenty of vampires. Thank you.